If you have multiple Google accounts, then you need this tool right here. This is a free, open source, self-hosted tool that combines multiple Google Drive accounts into one single unified storage that shows you everything in one single dashboard. So for learning purpose, I'm going to show you exactly how those people use this tool to bypass Google's terms of service, how they install it, how they use it, how they execute, so you can be aware of it. On your mission to put together multiple Google accounts into one single dashboard, you need to understand why this is the holy grail of the apps. Basically, every single user that uses this frames that this tool is a free storage life hack. So let's say you have multiple Google accounts, and as you can see here, each one of those represents one Google account. And let's say you are on free plan or you have paid account, but that's not enough. So what this tool does, it creates a background server and displays in a nice dashboard for you. So for us to get this going, we have to do a few installments for things to run on the background and then set up the configuration to set the UI to get to the dashboards. The first thing we want to do is to install Node.js just to make sure everything will work correctly. The second step is coming to where the GitHub is and copying this link right here, which we'll use it to clone into our computer. You can also check this here and go into the README file so you can have access to more information. Open PowerShell and let's create a folder. To create a folder, you can use this command right here and the name of the folder and press enter. And this is telling us that the folder has been created at this time and this date. However, if you do want to do the old-fashioned way, you can simply come here, create a folder and name it 9Drive. As you can see, I already have right here. Now, make sure you know exactly where the path location for this folder is so we can access it in the future. In this case, I am going to redirect to work inside this folder. Right now we are according to this path. When I press enter, now we are inside here. So what we want to do is to type git clone. So you can come back here, copy this, space, git clone, and the link. And now it's cloning all the files that we need inside our folder. And as you can see, it's right here and it's right here. Everything that we need has been downloaded into our folder. Now, what we want to do is to install MySQL. This is the page that we're looking that we need to download and do the installation for MySQL. And what we want to do is to download the smaller one. And once you get to here, simply come to no thanks, just start my downloads. And this is going to download our installer. And once it's downloaded, we want to execute and install it. Accept this, accept again. In order for us to do this, come to custom, press next. Now you want to come to MySQL service, press plus, 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 and select the latest version, which for me is this one. Now we want to send it to the right side. Once it's on the right side, we want to press next. Right here, we press next again, accept it, execute it, next, execute it, next, next, next. Now, once you get to account and roles, we need to set a password. I suggest you to get a simple password. So for this specific case, I am going to set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Once you set it, you press check it and press next. Now next again, and that should be the last step. So let's redirect our terminal to inside this folder. Now we need to set this script with this command right here. We just simply want to press enter. Once this is done setting up, let's go to the env file inside our folder. Find your folder, click it, let's go inside it, and now go into Backend where our configuration lives. And inside here, you simply press right click and you can open in Notepad or your favorite coding software. I am going to be using VS Code. Inside VS Code, look for database URL and select this and let's change it to that. And inside here, we want to add your password. As I mentioned before, my password was 12345677. This has been updated. I'm going to press Ctrl S to save it and update the file. Going back to a clean PowerShell inside our folder. Now I want to redirect this to the Backend folder. And as you can see, we are inside it. And what we want to do is to run our server to set everything up. So this is what we need. Everything has been synced, no scheme. The Prisma client, our backend server is configured correctly. Now let's go to the database setup and run the setup script. The next step now is to set our Google Cloud Console configuration. Link's going to be in the description. Come to Google Console, and what we want to do, either select an existing project or you want to simply create a new one by coming here into the list and select new project. And what you want to do is to create a name and simply press create. Once you select the list again for your project, you see that it's right here, and then you can switch between the projects. For this specific case, let's go to my project, the new one. As you can see, it has been selected. Now let's go to API and services and enables API services. Then inside here, come to enable API and services. Once inside this page, come to the search bar and type in Google Drive API and hit enter. And this is what we are looking for. So click it. And what we want to do is to enable it. Click again. Following that, we want to configure the auto consent screen on the side menu right here. Click this and let's get started. Now select your app name. And now you have to select your supported email and hit enter. Now on audience, you want to select external and press next. And here again, select another email. Let's agree and press continue and create it. So now we need to add the required scopes. And for this, we need to go into side menu, data access. To make things easier, I've pulled up the GitHub repo, the scopes right here. We'll be adding all those three here. Simply wants to come to Google Console and add scope. Now we want to manually add them by copying and pasting over here and add to the table. So we do this to all of them. Once all of those has been added to the list, make sure all of those are marked down. And next, you want to come down here and press update. Once this is done, now you want to save it. Now let's go to audience on the side menu. And this is very important. Inside test users, you want to add all the emails that you're going to use inside your 9Drive to connect all of them. If you have 10 different emails, you want to make sure you add all of them here. For this specific case, I will be only setting 2 accounts and I'm going to save it. All accounts should be listed right here down below. For you to go to the final step, come to the side menu here and let's go back to API and services. And on the side menu, look for credentials and enter. On top of credentials, let's create a new credential and come to auto client ID. Select application type, web application. For the name, you want to give whatever name you feel like it. So on the next step, we have to add the authorized JavaScript origins. And we want to simply type it here. And it wants to come all the way here, copy this and paste it over here. Now let's go to authorized redirect URL, add this, and we want to copy this right here and add over here. So now we can simply press create. Once you have successfully created the auto client, then you will have 2 things that we will need: the client ID and client secret. A good practice of you is to download the JSON. So let's download it so we can save it somewhere secure. And what we want to do with the client ID, copy this, and let's go again to our MV file. And inside our MV file, we are going to look for Google Client ID. Let's over here, paste it. Now come back here again. We want the client secret, copy this. Back to the MV file, we want to come all the way here and simply paste it. Now we have to make sure we save this file. I'm going to press Ctrl S. And now this has been saved with all the information needed. So because we got all our credential management has been created and updated in the file, so we can skip all those. Now we have to do 2 things. And this is a practice that you have to do every new session, every day when you want to launch the application. We have to launch it 2 terminals. One for the backend server and one for the front end, which is the dashboard, which we will see in a minute. So for better explaining, let's say this is a new day. We opened 2 terminals. This is a new day and all the configuration that has been done, you never have to worry about them ever again. But for you to launch it and make the application work, we have to pull up the server and the backend and the front end. So we first want to redirect to the backend folder and we want to redirect to the front end folder. So now that both folders has been redirected to the right location, we want to open the servers in both instances. So for this, we want to type npm run dev, press enter, and npm run dev, press enter. So as you can see, it's telling us running on localhost. The backend server is running, and now we have the front end server also running. So now we want to click this with Control left click, or simply copy this and paste it into your URL. And as you can see, we have successfully entered the dashboard, and what we want to do is to select your Google account by typing here. And right now we have to give access and permissions so we can read, edit any files. So we simply press continue 3 times, and mine has been selected already, continue, and voila. Now we are officially inside the 9Drive, and as you can see, it's already detecting our storage because it's only detecting from one account how much we have been used here. So if you want to access the data, you want to come to Quota Tracker. Now you should be ready to be using your application. So you'll be able to see information about your accounts, total storage, used amount, the account that has been set. If you notice, there is only one account that has been set. For us to set the others, all you want to do is to come to the side menu into the settings. And now we want to come to Connect Drive, and this pop-up will show up with all your emails. And basically what we want to do is to select the emails that we have configured previously on the Google console. You want to again give permissions to access all your files. Now once we go to Quota Tracker, as you can see, we have both accounts that we set on the Google console. And as you can see, the free storage has increased because it's calculating now both accounts. So let's give one test to see how this is performing. So let's go to all files in the side menu. And what we want to do is to come to the upload section, and I want to drag and drop a image right here. So let me just drag and drop. So it has detected the image, and what I want to do is to target in what storage it wants to be added to. So if you simply press here, you will automatically detect and send it to where there is a space. But if you want to target a specific account, then you have to select it over here. And if you want to target a specific folder, then obviously you can select the folder here. So let's press upload. And as you can see on the right side here, it's uploading now, and boom, that's it. So it will give basic information, the name of the file, folder, last modified, the size, and the account that has been set to. Yeah, and this is it, guys. Now you can have all your Google storage shared by one single dashboard, and you can connect everything you need and never having to leave and log in and log back on into different accounts and all that mess. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much. Please leave a like and subscribe if this was helpful. If you have any questions, please comment down below. Also, just a drop, even if you don't have any questions, you'll help me, you'll help the algorithm. So thanks so much, and I'll see you next video.